Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Japes Clash episode. Today, we are probably making an unfortunate decision for our bank account. We are buying the Clash of Dragons scenery. I know it is at a ridiculous price point, but I've been sitting on my hands the last couple days looking at other people buy it, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and if I buy it and look at all of the things, I'll make a decision by the end of the episode if I think it is worth the price tag, if you should buy it, if you shouldn't buy it. But of course, if you are going to buy it, first of all, you should do it on the Clash of Clans Supercell store like I am at right now. We are going to get a lot of bonus goodies right here. Well, now my face cam is just ridiculously large, but we are going to be able to get a couple hundred free gems. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy the scenery real quick, and then once I buy it, we'll be back and looking at the scenery. All right, there we go, guys. That is exactly why we buy all of our things on the Supercell store there. That is a ridiculous amount of free items for, I guess they're not free, right? But we're getting value on top of just a cosmetic, which is pretty dope. But that means it is time to go back to our account. Jacob, you are stuck in F11 hell. There you go. Look at that. Purchase has been delivered. All of our goodies that we just saw right there, we can now obtain. And if we look on the right side, our gem total is about to skyrocket. And there is our new Clash of Dragons scenery. This is going to be pretty much my first impression. I haven't watched anyone else's video on this. I know this is a couple days later. And I actually, surprisingly, haven't run into very many people with this skin. I think it's going to be one of the most rare exclusives once it does go off the table here in a couple weeks, just because of, well, frankly, the ridiculous price tag that goes with it. If you told me around a month ago that I was buying or probably the start of this channel, that I was buying a scenery, not even items, $33, I would have told you crazy. But here we are. Let's just dive right into it, right? We're going to try to comb through every single bit of this scenery. I think the first thing we all saw was when we went to the scenery for the first time, a little dragon animation right there. What I feel like we need to do next is we need to scroll out. Let's see if my PC can even control the 6 times. This is absurd. So this is the entire scenery right here. So can I play Clash of Clans still? No, it won't even let me click on my my items down here at this moment. I'm trying to click on my army camp, see if it would bring up anything. Let's see at what point we can play Clash of Clans. Still no. There. So we have to get back to, it looks like the original standing right here before we can play Clash of Clans. That would be kind of funny, playing Clash of Clans 2,000 feet away from the game, battling like that. That would be kind of interesting, but I understand why it doesn't work, I guess. Alright, I've recorded this next bit quite a bit, but I keep getting lost. The map is so expansive, and it's hard to show absolutely everything. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, first of all, show you the sheer size of this thing. And what I'm going to do next is I am going to show you each region as itself, treat it as its own scenery, rank them on a list from 1 to 4. We're going to start with my least favorite region and then go up to my favorite region, show you my favorite Easter eggs in each region, and then at the very end, talk about the benefits of this expansive scenery, and then also, of course, the negatives that come with it. All right, so coming in at number 4, my least favorite region on this expansive map has to be this desert region right over here, down here in the King's Kingdom, as we like to call it. And there are portions of this scenery that I really do like. I am a Star Wars fan. I like the Sarlacc-like pit right here. I like also just this crisp wall that obviously looks like it is just put together last minute. Things I do not really like about it is, maybe this is what they're going for, but just the expansive nature of emptiness. There is a lot of things going on in the sky, as you'll see. It looks like just the High Chapter fighting back against the dragons right there. But this is just kind of empty, right? There's just a lot of, I feel like, wasted space down here. Some of the towers are unique and cool as well. But I just wish there were more creatures running around. Every once in a while, you'll see things on the ground, like we see this goblin down here. But other than that, as I'm just scrolling around, maybe I need to give it time as well. I don't see a lot of things going on around here. I will show you the cutscene for every single one of these sceneries. This is a new feature right here, and it does feel like I am doing something that I shouldn't, right? It feels like I'm recording a movie in a movie theater and showing it on a YouTube right here. This one is actually pretty good. It's one of my favorites out of all of them right there. I like how this one looks. That is probably one of the benefits or pluses for this. I do like that the dragon is moving our king around as well in this, but it has to go in at number 4 because something has to go in number 4. Now we are going to go to my third favorite portion, and it is again just going to be on this bottom side of the map. The mines right down here. Again, there are certain parts of this that I truly do love. I don't know if you just saw that. I love the Easter egg of the goblin falling down the mountain with his inner tube right there, and probably to his death, so rip. But I also do love this giant warden statue. There's a lot of things to love about this. This actually does remind me kind of about the outer wall of one of my favorite sceneries in the game, the Dark Ages scenery with this wall right here. And the mines are pretty cool as well. I do wish, again, maybe the details, that's the one problem with the map being so big, that the details are just very small, right? So I'm scrolling in as far as possible, and I can still barely see any of the details. So if we're looking at the map just like I feel like as normal people are going to do, just scrolling around, you can't really see that much. And I know that is a perk of it being 1-to-1 ratio, but it is hard to see the finer details. So again, the base of this map just looks kind of empty, just like our main base over here. But of course, it is very shiny. I like the outer wall, so it is going to go number 3. I actually have yet to find where our warden is yet. So let me see if I can find him real quick and show you the mini cutscene for him as well. This is going to be my mini Easter egg along with the warden. Or the goblin falling down the cliff right here. Here we go. That actually didn't take that long at all. We have found the warden, which is one of my favorite skins right here. This is, again, the mini cutscene. We have our warden against a super dragon right here. It's almost like a you shall not pass type of edit right there. And he is at the end of our tower over here. But this is number 3 on my list, the warden's stone region. Number 2 on my list has to be probably, yeah, it has to probably, I was thinking about it, you're like, this is very off the cuff right here. Yeah, it is. It's going to be our wood elf region. Again, kind of same complaints about the first one. We have a lot of trees right here, but there isn't a lot of details surrounding that other than the massive tree is super, super cool. And I think this is one of the coolest looking sceneries when you scroll all the way out, which is pretty cool. Again, another little Star Wars reference, but these remind me of just the Ewok huts right here. And I love how it looks like the trees' roots are basically holding up the entire civilization right there. But let's go look at the Queen's cutscene up here. This one is probably my least favorite, to be honest. One of them has to be my least favorite overall. The eyes give me some owl vibes right there, which of course it looks like she is kind of part owl as well. But the tree region is going to be my second favorite. And at my favorite, and by probably a large margin, is going to be the civilization, the elven civilization at the top of the city. Oh, look at this. I just saw this right here. We have our keep. It looks like our dungeon. We are keeping an Electro Dragon, which I wonder if this is like a big bad Electro Dragon, because we of course have a lot of other dragons flying around, and that one seemed massive in scale compared to the other ones. So that is interesting to see. But I do love the peak of this. My favorite parts of the top part of this scenery is this seems very tower defense-esque. We see these crystallized structures shooting back, fighting back against the dragons. We don't actually see any elves or anything like that fighting back. It is instead, of course, those structures. Another part that I really do like is these statues that are at the very top. Again, I don't really like that when you scroll in, they are kind of blurry. Maybe that is just because it is on the Google Play settings. But again, everything that you have to see is very expansive. So as a expansive scenery and looking at the scenery from this standpoint, it is going to be a number one in my opinion. But if you individualize and look at the sceneries part by part, I actually think you get better value by just the independent sceneries. But that makes sense, I guess, just because there is more value in that. So now I'm to the part of the video, is it worth it, in my opinion, to buy this scenery? And I'm just going to give you a stark answer and say, I bought this 15 minutes ago, and I'm going to say no. I'm sorry. I know that's not the answer that Clash of Clans or Supercell is going to want. But I feel like the major perk you obtain from it is basically a flex. You're basically showing people that you're rich, or maybe it's not a flex because you're showing that you are bad with your money and willing to pay actual money, actual other video game money. You could buy an actual video game for this cosmetic value. So I think that is the biggest reason you would buy it. It is a flex to your clanmates that you have bought this, and obviously you can scroll 6 times further out, but I would not recommend it for the casual clasher. I feel like you can get better value by just buying the other, maybe 4 other sceneries. So yeah, if we go to sceneries over here, the costs, if we're gonna load over here, please. The future scenery in the Book of Clash, they are only $7. So again, yeah, you could buy almost 5 sceneries for this exact same value. And if we look at this scenery, for example, the details are just, they seem a little bit finer, right? And you can scroll in and see those details a little bit better. What I find with this main map, and I've said it, preached it multiple times already, is the details look awesome from out here. But then when we scroll down here, there's just nothing going on. It's just emptiness. And you can say that for a lot of the scenery overall. And I hope they keep making these legendary price point sceneries. Am I going to buy them in the future? Probably not, but we will see. Tell me your thoughts of this first legendary scenery in the game, Clash of Clans. Have you bought it? Have you gone away from it just because of the price tag? I wanted to buy it for myself to give it a good hearty try. Am I going to be keeping it equipped, even though it is not my favorite scenery in the world? Yes, of course I am. Just because it is a humongous flex, and from the point of Clash of Clans where you are going to play it right here, this part of the scenery is dope, right? You can see the 4 different sectors. It's when you start examining a little bit further, which I don't like every part of the scenery, which you're not going to get when you have 6 times the amount. But again, tell me your thoughts in the comments section. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace.